Alright, this is just a quick video to show people some Reiki symbols. These symbols are taken from a graphic for Karuna Reiki, but the symbols that I was taught were from Taramai, and they're basically the same symbols. So these are the symbols that I've been using for 20 years. Not all of them, but Zona particularly I use, which is this one, and next to the insert. Kriya, which is 2 chakra rays, that's a standard symbol in Taramai. So I've been using that one for years. I can guarantee that it's very, very, very effective in terms of adding clarity to a situation or moving things upwards to a new state of consciousness. Any of those kinds of phrases would kind of cover Kriya. The more complex ones down below are initiation symbols. So Rama is used in initiation. The Om symbols used in the initiation, and the Raku. Or it might have been the Fire Serpent. It's a while since I did a Reiki Master initiation, but that's the way that I was taught anyway. Along with that Daiko Mio, which is also an initiation symbol in Taramai. Yeah, it's an interesting system. It's got a lot of extra things in it that Usui Reiki doesn't have. Some of which are useful and some of which are distractions, as far as I'm concerned. But it's certainly been a blessing for me. I recommend, if anybody's got the opportunity, I can do Reiki over distance, over the internet or whatever. So if you want to get in touch, for a small fee, I shall do a thing called a radio empowerment, which over time, if you have a few of them over time, will improve your ability to connect to intuition and start you on a journey that will take you in all sorts of directions over 20 years. If you're anything like me, this was a starting point of the journey. It's not the destination necessarily. It can be for some people, but there are destinations that are not the same as Reiki. But Reiki is the starting point. That's the carrier frequency. It's the carrier level for everything else. So I wish you well on your journey. If you'd like to have a radio empowerment, leave me a message in the comments, or send me an email to radioprojects2019@gmail.com, or you can go to reikimasterinitiation.com and leave me a comment there, or join the site there and send me a message, and I'll set something up for you. It's like $10 or something. It's not a huge amount of money. It's just a matter of if you're getting my expertise, then I expect that to be accounted for, and I've got bills to pay. So past the point where I'm doing this for free now. But if you want to tap into some of this, there are many Reiki masters around the world. Many Reiki masters around the world. Some of whom are interesting and good and positive for life. Some of whom aren't, because people are people, and you don't just get the Reiki, you get the Reiki master as well. So choose wisely. Alright, so there's a little bit of background noise, but I think we're probably alright just for a short video here. It's the first day that I've been travelling to work with masks being compulsory on public transport, and it turns out to be a thing that produces friction on public transport, because The bus driver this morning on the 54 bus at Central Station at about 10:20 was loud. He was loud about telling me to put my mask on. He was loud about just being a dick, basically. He was loud about lots of things, and he called me a knob by the end of the conversation. I was just laughing at him because the guy was obviously projecting something. I don't know what anger or transferring something from somebody else, because I hadn't done anything to justify this level of vitriol that was coming out of his mouth. It really was strange. I thought about putting a complaint in about him, to be honest, but it's a waste of time, really, because it really becomes my word against his, and he's the employee, so they'll back him. So it's not worth it even. But if I meet him again on the bus and he produces an attitude in the way that he did this morning, I'll certainly complain about him. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he had a bad day this morning. But honestly, if Go Northeast or whoever it is employing people and not finding out what kind of attitude they've got and then putting them in charge of a bus and then inadequately training them about how to deal with people wearing masks or about to put their mask on when they get not wearing masks and about to put their mask on when they get on the bus. I mean, I was literally in the doorway and he's shouting at me to put my mask on. I had just stepped one step onto the bus and I'm asking him for the fare as I'm about to reach in my pocket to get the mask. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But what can you do? We've been told we've got to do it. I'm complying with the law by getting my mask out of my pocket and putting it on. He's expecting me to have already done that. And he thinks that being in the doorway is being on the bus. So we've got a bit of a discussion about how being in an open doorway isn't actually being on the bus, or whether it is on the bus or not. It's just pathetic, man. It's pathetic behaviour. So if he does it again, I'll report him. I can't be bothered with him, really. But I thought I'd log it as a thing that happened because it was a bit annoying. It's still a bit annoying, really. And it's 12 hours later now. But what can you do in the end? You've got to go along with these things because people when they're given authority like to throw their weight around. I'm not a bloke who particularly objects to things, but honestly, I'm not good with authority, and if you're trying to throw your weight around and I'm not in the mood for it, I'll either complain or I'll give you a mouthful of abuse, or I'll just get off the bus and get on the next bus where the guy's got a better attitude. But honestly, it's a pointless exercise, I think, complaining. But if it happens again, then I will. And I'm not happy about wearing a mask, but I'm doing it. If he's not happy about me not wearing a mask on the bus, he should at least give me time to put it on when he can see that I'm reaching in my pocket. And it's just pathetic. It's a pathetic attitude. And he really should not be in charge of anything that involves customer service with that kind of attitude. Anyway, so it's mid-June. We're kind of recovering slowly from the coronavirus thing that's been going on for the last 3 months. Slowly and carefully getting things back to normal as much as we can. And this is just an incident along the way. It's more or less forgotten, but at least it's logged.